Hello, friend. I wanted to talk about a video that was shared with me by a friend, and her name is Azucena. I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, please send me a little message with how you but she was kind enough to share a video with me that was short. It was like 15 minutes. I'm gonna include the link in this video of that video so you can check it out. But okay, hopefully my internet will stay on. So what I wanted to say about this video is I think it is a good tool to test out. And like any tool, try it out and see what works for you, where resistance might come up, and where you can modify it so that you lower the resistance that you are feeling. Because what I have found is the more relaxed I am, the better everything feels. So when you're going within to your imagination to give yourself what you want, it's a lot easier for me personally to do that if I'm in a relaxed state. So sometimes what I'll do, I'll go for a walk, or I will stretch, or I will listen to binaural beats, or I'll listen to like theta, or just things like that. You can get those links on YouTube. I can add some of those to this video, but what it does is when you are just learning to allow yourself to relax, then what you want flows, and it's going to flow easier because it's all coming from you, right? And that's what's been shared with us by Edward Art, by Neville Goddard. He says everything that's coming to you, it's not coming from outside of you to you. It's coming from within you, and it's presenting itself to you in the outer world. So it's a really big distinction. And the best way that I have found to go within myself and express to myself, to my inner being, right, my inner lady, what it is that I want, and give myself the desire fulfilled, is to be in a state of relaxed allowing. And this gives me a sense of ease, and I can tell if I am in a sense of ease up here because I can feel it throughout my body. If I am in a state of anxiousness or stress or anything like that, it's a lot more challenging for me to feel as though I'm going to get what I want. It's harder for me to even feel like it's a natural accepting that I can have what I want. And and there's a difference, because one feels like lack and anxiousness. Like when I was younger, I would pray or I would think about what I wanted, but there was always this feeling attached to it, like I didn't know if I would get it. I didn't know if it was going to come to me. I didn't know if what I wanted was going to happen. And that would bring up a lot of stress and feelings of, like just anxiety. And if you feel worthy, like you can always have what you want, which you can in your imagination, right? You can always give yourself whatever you want. Any desire, it's fulfilled. You can do that yourself. You don't have to think that something from outside of you is going to make that happen. Or you don't, think, you don't have to think that, oh, this has to happen before this has to happen before this can finally happen, and then I'll have what I want. Like you don't have to think in that kind of very you know it's just outside thinking. In your imagination, you can give it to yourself instantly. So one of the things that I am um, testing out is I'll get comfortable, I'll relax, and then I'll see myself. And you know what? And I don't even have to like stop what I'm doing to do this. So let me just back up and say, if there's something that I want, and I just want to give that to myself immediately, it's like I can see myself with my inner self, and I can just like have a cup of tea with my inner self, right? You could like do all different kinds of things. You just got to find the way of feeling it or hearing it or seeing it that works, for you. Like however it feels most comfortable and relaxing for you to connect in with your inner being. That's, you can do that however that works for you. So like I could see myself sitting in my inner being's kitchen, like, because to me that's like a warm hearth. She's got all the cool things in her kitchen. It's very homey, it's very warm and inviting, and we'll just sit and we'll have a cup of tea, and pretty soon we'll be talking, and she'll be telling me all the things that I want to hear, because those are things that I'm giving to myself, and she's just affirming it. And there's never any resistance in the interaction. So, because I never go to her in a state of doubt or feeling like I have to beg or plead or will I have that? Can I have that? Like, I don't have any of those kinds of that's not how I approach it with my inner being. So a lot of times we will just sit together and we will be laughing and we'll be planning trips, or we will be planning the things that I want to do around my property, and it'll just feel really easy. She'll say things like, yeah, I mean, you just have everything that you need, and it's all so easy for you, and it just comes to you effortlessly. And doesn't that feel good? And we talk about things like that, So that's what I wanted to say. If you try it out, different techniques, test them out and see what feels the most natural or allowing or relaxing. Just wherever you go with it, know that the more you are relaxed about it all, and you automatically just feel like you know what you're doing. Then you get to have what you want, because there's nothing withholding anything from you. There's no big scary God person in the sky saying what you can and can't have. That is it's it's just an untrue story. But we can make it true if we give that our belief, right? I don't give that my belief. So as a result, a lot of interesting things happen and unexpected things seem to happen. And things really do just seem to work out without me going to a lot of trouble to figure it out myself, which is really nice. And it's getting easier and easier because I've obviously committed myself to testing these these tools out. And so the video that my friend Azucena sent me is a fellow who talks about prayer and how he's found a way to really tap into it's almost like a brain hack, a somatic brain hack, if you will. And I like some of what he says, and I'm going to, kind of design my own little inner story around how I do this, but I've already kind of shared that with you, how I do that. So that would be my prayer. I would close my eyes and I would raise my eyeballs towards the back of my head, up until they just start kind of moving around or flickering a little bit. And that puts you in a, I want to say, I think he said delta state, which is something that Joe Dispenza talks about, which is cohesive, connecting your head and your heart together. Because when you connect your head and your heart, that's when the magic happens. That's when things that you want to change can really change and quickly, because you're not in a state of resistance. There's no doubt or any of the things that can bring resistance into a desire that you might have that you are wanting to give to yourself. And since we're praying, to me, prayer is more like it's a feeling space that I'm sharing in an allowing way with my inner being. And it opens me up, it opens my heart up, and my mind can't get in the way because there's more, the flow is just coming straight through my heart instead of the thoughts in my head. So it's like a way of putting my heart in charge of the interaction, and then my brain will act accordingly to what it is that I'm wanting, that I'm giving to myself. So I don't want to take all the fun out of the other video for you, so I'll have the link for you to watch that and test it out and see what you think. And most importantly, if it's something that you find really helpful, or you've tested it out and you're like, hey, this is really, it's, giving me some good results, like, please share and tell us, what you're doing and how you're doing it and what you like about it, and if you tweaked it a little bit. And because not everybody is, likes to use certain religious verbiage, and that's okay, because ultimately it's not about religion, and it's not about any of the stories tied to any particular religion. I'm very fond of a lot of different stories. That's why I've talked about Jesus, because it's always felt like a loving, warm presence. I also love Buddha, because Buddha has amazing, qualities and characteristics too. So for me, there are archetypes that I look to for inspiration and to just feel good. And I think ultimately that's the name of this game, is to put yourself in a good feeling state, because that is what's bringing you into alignment with the truth of yourself. And the more you do that, the more everything just naturally flows from you without effort. And that's the sweet spot that I think everybody is trying to talk about. And however you can find it is wonderful. And I just happen to really love the law of assumption tools and teachings. So, yeah, try it out, see what you think, leave a comment. And until we talk again, friend, much love.